And now joining me here on a Missouri Valley Conference chat, Porter Moser, the head coach of Loyola Chicago. And Porter, here's what's crazy. A couple years ago when you made your Final Four run, you had that win over Florida. And that was great shelf life. This year, you did play Wisconsin. You didn't win that game, but you didn't have like a, sort of a full sort of body of work in the non-conference. Really, no one did. And yet, great rating. All of us amateur bracketologists have you guys in. What's the difference, do you think, while this group is treated almost with like equal respect, numbers wise, as long as you take care of business?
Well, a couple things. First, the scheduling. No one worked harder at us to get opponents. And like our mutual friend, Coach Majerus, used to say, he goes, "Hey, I want to date Heather Locklear, but Heather Locklear don't want to date me." And, we tried, and so our league, we try so hard to schedule games, and it just made it doubly hard with COVID. And like you mentioned, the Wisconsin game, we literally, we found out Saturday night, we're playing UIC on a Sunday, and we had to leave on Monday to go to Madison. Like, we were willing to play so many teams, but the difference is our league is so strong. And I remember back when the Valley used to get 3 or 4 teams, when they put up the resume, good wins were a bunch of our league wins. And that hasn't been the case. And it's the case this year. We have 3 top, Missouri State's climbing in almost to a quad 1 road game. Drake, us, Indiana State's quad 2 games. So you can build a resume within your league. And that's what's such a difference is how strong our league is night in, night out.
So you got 2 players, Cameron Krutwig and Lucas Williamson, who probably feel like they've been there forever. What's their leadership meant to this group? Because, they've been on a great run, as younger players.
They have, and when you have sustainability in a program, it's what your upperclassmen are when you walk in, and our freshmen, our Final Four seniors, Richardson, Towns, and all the Ingram, they were freshmen when we won the CBI, and those seniors were my first recruiting class. And then they're in the Final Four; those guys were the seniors, and Krutwig and Lucas were the freshmen, and now they are. And what you do is you pour into the younger guys when you have really good sustainability and culture. And our younger guys know they've been where they want to go. And then the other thing is, because we've missed out on it right at the end, the last couple of years, there's an urgency. There's nothing like a senior urgency. And I think they have that. They want to win, and they want to win now. That's why we haven't had any conversations about whether they're coming back or not. It's about right now. These guys have an urgency.
So you brought up a good point. As much as you and Drake are favorites, even though Drake has had multiple injuries, and yet they've still been able to win, which is, I think, great for the league and actually ultimately good for you guys, let alone themselves. There was that back-to-back years where Bradley won it, and they weren't technically the best team. When you go to St. Louis a week from now, how much do you guys have to be on guard that could happen again?
I think night in and night out, we're on guard. We just being in the Valley so long. It's a great basketball league, really well coached. There's great basketball players in this league, and I think we know that you gotta bring it every night. Anybody can beat anybody, and it's especially that way in a tournament setting. And so I feel like we're always on guard. I feel like we're always prepared, ready to go, and not taking anybody lightly in this league. And but I just think these back-to-back games have been really, really tough mentally and physically. That's going to prepare you for a tournament setting like no other. But I think everybody knows these conference tournaments, man, throw out everything. Let's go. Let's bring it on. And then it's a lot of different things can happen.
How much do you think impressions matter that your Drake games were, nationally televised, both of them? They were 2 different kinds of games. There's no question. One was sort of a little bit of a rock fight, and the other one was a little more up and down. But how much do you think that helps in the perception?
The overwhelming amount of people that watched it said how, about both teams, how they thought both teams were NCAA tournament teams. And and we're in it. So I feel it. I mean, both teams are older. Both teams' efficiency numbers on both ends are really good. And the thing that people don't understand that don't play back-to-back nights is, like, when you're playing back a quad 1, you do it back-to-back. I mean, there's not many people that have a back-to-back road wins against the same team in a quad 1. And Drake's a championship program. They came back the next night. I mean, it was, like you said, a rock fight. And I think that my takeaway is I saw firsthand how good they were. And all the response around the country being on national television, everyone felt, I think, the same thing, that those are two NCAA tournament teams.
So you've done this before. You've made a deep run. Difference will be it'll all be in the state of Indiana, a state that you're familiar with. What gives you cautious optimism that the pieces are there? And I don't want to get ahead of the Southern Illinois series of the Arch Madness, but just in general, that the pieces are there for this group to win some games in March Madness.
I think we're playing both ends. I think we defend at a high level. I think our defensive efficiency numbers are one in the country, and I think our offense, our unselfishness, our spacing. We're a high assist team. I think that was the thing that we different guys, different nights. We were sharing it, moving it. I think we're averaging around 18 assists. So I think we're playing both ends. But you need to be older. I really think being older is an advantage. We got some really good senior leadership. We got some guys that been there before. So I think we got a lot of ingredients. But I think that's the thing that we were so special about last time is we've never got ahead of ourselves. We know we got a huge weekend, one Friday. We don't even talk about the weekend. It's Friday, Southern Illinois. Then we got the tournament, the Valley tournament. So I think we do a good job of not trying to get ahead of ourselves, but we feel confident that we have a lot of pieces.
Hey, last thing, Porter. There's been an acceptance of facial hair during the pandemic. A lot of beards, some stashes. Pandemic or no pandemic, your thoughts on when Cameron, came to you first with the stash?
You learn you can't ask for too much. I'm asking for a ton of assists, ton of rebounds, ton of points. If I'm asking him to shave, I don't know. I think it waters down the rest of it. He's going to beat to his own drum. People ask me the similarities all the time. His bookend, his freshman year, he had mutton chops down to here. Then he was clean shaven for 2 years. We didn't go back. Now he's got a mall cop mustache. So I'm loving it. I know he loves it. So if he's happy, I'm happy.
Well, Porter, I appreciate it. Glad you're safe. And Loyola is cruising along here. I got a tough series against Southern Illinois and then Arch Madness. And hopefully we'll see Loyola go on another deep run in the tournament.
Thanks, Andy.